James, 5-1 away. I never thought we'd be having this conversation prior to this game, but statement win tonight, surely.
Yeah. I think it is a statement win. I think it was Arsenal trying to look. I was really encouraged by Forest, and rightly so. I'm not having a go at fans that said this. Rightly so. There was an air of, okay, it was one game. Come on, like we've been more bad than we have been good. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But sometimes you just feel like the team's clicked a little bit. Sometimes you see something, you think, well, the return of Ødegaard, better patterns of play, fluidity, maybe something has just clicked a little bit with the team. Now, we need to show against West Ham, we need to show against Man United, we need to build some momentum, don't get me wrong. Can't sort of go over the top after 2 games. But it did feel, I don't think you play that kind of football unless something's clicked. I don't think you win 5-1 in Sporting, at Sporting, if something hasn't clicked in some way. So we build on it, because I thought that was a really, really impressive performance from Arsenal. On the ball, off the ball, the patterns of the play in the final third, the defending in the defensive third, the duels, the battles in the middle third, the control of possession. Everything was just perfect from Arsenal. I really think, if we defend that one set piece better, I think it's a perfect performance almost. We were fantastic.
Oh, absolutely. Really impressive. Now, we're talking about resurgence, which is clear to see, especially in the last 2 games. I even thought, actually, in the game against Chelsea, we were showing signs that we were getting back there. Now, would this... Is it too much of a simplification to say that the resurgence is down to Martin Ødegaard's return, or is it more than that?
Well, I thought we created enough chance against Chelsea to win the game. Whether they had theirs too and it was a fair result, whatever. Let's just talk about what Arsenal did from a creative perspective. I thought we had loads of really good chances in that game. And I don't think a lot of teams will go to Chelsea and create that much. So because of these circumstances of going 9 points behind Liverpool and the form we'd been in, that didn't feel good enough. But in most other seasons and most other contexts, playing that well against a side that are in the top 4, who have the expensive players they've got, creating those chances and getting a draw would more often than not, at the bridge, be seen as a good point. So context and the way you view things kind of changes. So I agree. I felt that Ødegaard returning, momentum started to shift a little bit then. And actually, to be fair, the Inter Milan performance, despite losing, wasn't a disaster. I thought we gave it a good go, but we were lacking some ideas. Now, against Forest, he went with real technical players, I felt, and I don't know whether that was just using the squad for the sake of it, or whether he felt that was the best way to try and beat a stubborn Forest side. But you started to get patterns back into the team, and the momentum's just carried on since then. Is it because of Ødegaard? You could link it to Ødegaard. But I thought the football was really good when he came off, albeit it's easier when you're 4-5-1 up. But when Neri came on and kept things ticking. I just think balance is a very underrated thing in football. I think having a left footer at left back like Calafiori can maraud up and down the pitch and understands that position and is playing on his favoured angles as well is a big help. Look at what Timber did with that assist, and he's got an assist from the right before against Leicester because he's playing on his right foot and he's able to attack those spaces better. Out at left back, he did fine, but he's never looked as good at left back as he has done at right back. Havertz now playing as more of a striker, getting into those areas where he can just get in the end of a tap-in or running in behind. So Ødegaard, who's playing those passes. Rice playing a little bit closer to Partey and build-up, so that the two of them, are able to marshal the midfield, and Calafiori can run beyond them rather than trying to force Rice to be some, super high attacking left eight. All these things are just tweaks to the balance and the roles of the players that I think make Arsenal a significantly better team. It's small things, but I think it can have a big difference.
Yep, I agree. Let's talk a little bit about Gyökeres, because coming into this game, a lot of people were talking about him. We got to look at him tonight up close and personal against our 2 guys who I personally thought came out on top of that battle. Although Gyökeres did show in moments that he's a quality player. How did you think that dynamic showed up?
It's interesting. I think if you wanted to troll a little bit, you could say, oh, there you go. See, he's not that good, right? Up against a Premier League defence. That's what. But I actually think Saliba and Gabriel had to play at an exceptional level to keep him quiet, and he still, wriggled away some good shots. One that was deflected that Raya had to deal with. There was another really good one where he did actually take the touch and turn around Saliba and then roll it into a midfielder who's running beyond. I don't think we saw the best of Gyökeres tonight, but I think that's more credit to us, not through a lack of trying. The guy. And look what he did to Kivior. I mean, basically, the minute you put him up against someone who isn't as quick and strong and athletic as Saliba and Gabriel, he got the better of them and nearly scored from a great angle with a really nice finish, but hit the post. So he was a handful. But Saliba and Gabriel were unbelievable tonight. Could easily have been man of the match. It's weird to score 5 away from home and concede a goal. I want to be talking about the centre-backs. But I think you can make a case for like 6 or 7 players, and those 2 are in there.
Yeah, definitely, especially when you consider that it was Saliba's 100th appearance tonight.
Was it?
So, yeah, I thought he did really well.
Can we just... 100 appearances. Only the other day it was, why are we loaning him out? What's he doing? Yeah, get this guy, he's better than Rob Holding. And that was probably true. But 100 appearances later, that's flown by.
That's amazing. Yeah. Amazing. Now, with that Champions League win today, a lot of people are going to be, naturally projecting forward to the game against West Ham. Are you, like a lot of the Arsenal fans now, kind of excited because you're thinking, yeah, man, it looks like we've got our Arsenal back and we can now look at mounting a serious title challenge? Because let's be honest, City are not in a good moment. We've seen again tonight. They've had a pretty poor performance in the end, 3-0 up, and then end up drawing 3-3. They're away at Liverpool this weekend. It's not looking good for them. Us, on the other hand, though, things are looking quite good. Are you confident that we can use wins like tonight to really mount a serious title challenge?
Yeah, but the problem is that Liverpool are facing the out-of-form City team, and didn't West Ham just win at Newcastle? I know they were 2-0 up. Did it end 2-0? I actually didn't even bother checking.
Yeah, West Ham did win.
So,
no, but in terms of performance, what we're seeing now, I mean, Arsenal are played probably as well tonight as I've seen them play in a long time. So surely that must give you... And then the performance against Forest as well.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you've got to be excited. Look, I'm not just saying this now. I was excited before we kicked the ball against Forest. I just felt like this team had showed over the last 2 years that they've got runs in them, that they've got form, that they've got levels they can get to. And the fact we haven't got there yet, I just felt that it wasn't a true reflection of who we were as a team, that we were just in a bad moment. I didn't feel it was acceptable that the bad moment lasted as long as it did, and we should have done better in some of those moments. And akin to, as much as better, we could have thrown more questions. Newcastle was appalling. Bournemouth was too negative. But I didn't really ever feel that was the true Arsenal. So I was excited. Then you watch those games and you see 8 goals in 2 games, and you start thinking, bring on the next game. But I think it's good to look. We were ages craving a Premier League win. We went over a month without a Premier League win. So when you get really big wins, it's okay to enjoy it for 2 days. And we'll think to West Ham when we do the previews and everything later this week. But I'm really enjoying watching this team. I really hope they carry this confidence onto, the West Ham game in this run of form, because if you're going to build momentum at any point in the season, now's a great time for it. We're about to hit a run where we've got a lot of Premier League games, not easy ones, but teams that are considered more favourable than some we've had to face in the first part of the season. We are going to be playing relentlessly back-to-back. We have put ourselves in a great position in the Champions League because our next 2 games are now at home with that. So the chance of a top 8 finish is looking likely, more so than it isn't, if we do our job. Carabao Cup quarter-final, win that at home against Palace and you're into the semis. And then the FA Cup kicks off. So this is all before there's a real break for this team. That's a lot of football and a lot of chance to build serious momentum. And next thing you're in the transfer window, you never know what happens then. So I'm excited because I think there's an opportunity for things to happen very quickly for this team. Things can also go wrong very quickly in football. But I'm really hopeful that they're going to build momentum and really kick on from this, because what we've seen these last 2 games have been seriously impressive.